You know what is incredibly short-sighted of me is shooting these on a Monday night when it's football night. And now I'm shooting a video instead of watching a football game. And yeah, going to keep that up for a period of time or shoot these earlier in the day. Maybe that's it. Welcome to episode 2, Christmas tree edition. A complaint is junk food to the soul. That's Axiom number, whatever, we're at 3 now? Yeah. A complaint is junk food to the soul. So you sit down to watch a football game and you get snacky midway through and you go up to the junk food closet, the cupboard, and you pull out a bag of chips and you sit down and you eat the bag of chips and it's wonderful and you enjoy it, and then you look down and what feels like a minute has passed, but it's probably more like 20 or an hour or whatever, but it feels like a short period of time. And I look down and the bag of family-sized bag of Doritos is empty. And now you don't feel so great. What tasted good in the moment is now, pardon me, causing all kinds of digestive issues and things we don't want to talk about. And that's complaining. It's exactly that. We sit down with a bag of chips, we consume it in the moment, it releases dopamine, we feel good, and we feel like we're vindicated, and then we feel gross afterwards. And it actually makes it worse. Eating the chips makes it worse. It's worse for your appetite, it's worse for your body. Nothing gets solved with it except the temporary, fleeting satisfaction of the junk food. And that's complaining. It's exactly the same thing to your soul, to your body, to your mind, to your mental, emotional health. It's junk food. And I'm not talking about the kind of complaining that's kind of like flippant and like, oh, you poor baby, they put the wrong amount of cream in your Starbucks, whatever. That's not the complaining I'm talking about. I'm talking about real complaining, about stuff that there's actually something complaint-worthy, like something's really amiss. You lost your job and it's right at Christmas, or, you're an employer and some, an employee did something and quit or didn't quit or, whatever. And real things, somebody stole from you. There's a problem. You have issues with your kids or your family members, and those are real things that are worth complaining about. Like you actually have a reason to complain about. That's what I'm talking about. And those are the ones that are the hardest not to complain in because they're so real. And yet, complaining in that moment is junk food. You're not helping yourself and you're not helping anybody else. When you do this, all you're doing is giving yourself this momentary hit of dopamine of like, I feel better now. I was managed to, complain about some situation. And then what's worse is we look for someone else who shares the complaint or who'll be willing to indulge us in it and say, yeah, that is really bad. And you know what else is bad? And then we layer in our own complaining on someone else's complaining, and then it just is this compounding effect, and it's absolutely useless behavior. It doesn't do any good, but it's so hard to get out of it. And I'm going to shout out my friend Alex for this because we were having a conversation about this, a very real conversation about this a couple of weeks ago, and his quote, which he gave me permission to use, is brilliant. He said, there's absolutely no ROI in it, talking about complaining, but it just feels so good in the moment. And that's absolutely the truth. So you complain, it's junk food to the soul, and then it's so fleeting, the satisfaction, that you need more of it. The bag of chips is empty, and now you want to share a bag of chips with somebody else. Then you bring somebody else in it, and the cycle perpetuates itself until you're stuck into this, and you become a victim because you're complaining about stuff that's clearly bad, clearly wrong, clearly shouldn't be happening, but it is, and the complaining is getting you nowhere. So what's the solution? I've said this 1,000 times in training rooms and in my coaching, that you can either have a complaint or you can have power, but you can't have both. And you got to pick one. And the only way to get your power back is to take action of some kind, is to do something. In fact, I believe in this so strongly that action's the solution to complaint, that my very first guiding principle that we've now adopted at my company at Charlton and Hill is do, not complain. The comma is important here. Do, comma, not complain. Because if you're doing, then you can't complain, right? And so at work, even for myself, I've had some of my own team members come back to me with this, and it's good. It's sticking when they're doing this. It's also a little bit humbling. And they say, okay, cool. Are you done complaining? Yes. Okay. What are you going to do about it? That's the sequence of questions I'll always ask. Cool. Are you done complaining about it? If not, then please finish, get it out of your system. And then what are you going to do about it? Well, I can't do anything about it. It's outside of my control. No, it's not. It is absolutely not. There's always something that can be done. It's a conversation. It's an action. It's a separating of, you're from a situation. It's something that can be done, and it's almost never easy. That's why it's called power, because it's powerful. You get your power back by taking action. The action's never easy. You know what's easy? Eating the bag of chips. And so the solution to complaining and getting your power back is to take action. And the question is, what are you doing or not doing that's precipitating this outcome in your life? And there's always an answer to that question. What are you doing or not doing that is precipitating this particular outcome in your life? And then once you've identified what it is you're doing or not doing, you just do something different. The opposite works most times, but just something different. Take a different action, go a different path. And then suddenly you find yourself moving in a direction. Okay, so but Dan, I've done this. I have this situation with this person who's a friend, and we've been fighting about a thing and whatever. Fill in the blanks. Just build your own story around this and tell me that you have tried to talk to this person 1,000 times and it's not going anywhere. What do I do? I keep wanting to have the conversation. I keep doing it. Well, I'd say I would learn what I'm not doing well in the conversation, and then I would have the conversation again, and keep having the conversation, and keep coming back to the conversation, and keep doing something, because the alternative is to complain, and when you complain, you just bloat on junk food, and it gets you nowhere. So I said this in the first episode that some of these are self-evident, obviously. Like, you can complain or have power, but you can't have both. That's obvious. Once you think it through, you're like, yeah, of course. I can't be a complainer and be taking significant action to move my life in a good direction. Those things just fly in the face of each other. But it's not easy. None of this is easy. This is hard work. This is challenging the very core of belief. This is really forcing yourself to the forefront of the outcome of your life, like where I can't play victim to somebody else having done something to me or not done something for me. Now I can't be a victim. I have to take action. And that's powerful. That's empowering. That's what starts to move your life in a direction. And you don't know what direction. See, this is the thing. You have to let go of the outcome of, I'm going to take this particular action and then everything's going to be better. No, you don't know that. You don't know that. But if you take the action, it'll move the needle. Something will change. And as it begins to change, you will know what the next actions will become self-evident. And you'll move along the progression. And so if you're finding yourself right now saying, yeah, but you don't know my situation, Dan, you're stuck. And I get it because I've been there. I've been exactly where you are. You're stuck in the complaint is bigger than what I have power to do. And I just want you to ask the question, what is it that I'm doing or not doing that's precipitating this outcome or allowing this outcome to continue to live in my life? If you want to look at it like that, what am I doing or not doing? And then just do something different. The opposite works. You either have a complaint or you have power, but you can't have both. Complaining is junk food to the soul. I'll see you in the next episode.